Hi, I'm Gracie Leroy. These are my guests. It's my brother-in-law and my sister, and they're going to be joining me. So let me go ahead and start putting this into present. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to be sharing with you a at-home plant-based meal. This is something that I make regularly, and that I thought would be very nice to share with the rest of you guys. So this meal is simple, cost-effective, and plant-based. I was able to make this meal in about 30 minutes, very minimal dishes, and it's something that works out for me very well. I think it is very beneficial for someone to cook at home because you're spending $10 compared to 30. So, I think one of the very top things for me about cooking at home is knowing the ingredients that I'm putting into my meals. So on this slide, I included all the ingredients I use, and it came to a grand total of $10 even. I was able to do this ahead of time using Walmart, and I like to do this as well to plan out my meals. So I think it is very important to know the ingredients. And Barbara Gray's 2015 article actually states that fast food is 50% of America's diet, and high school students can consume fast food daily. About 40% of high school students contain fast food daily. And I think that is crazy because it is so unhealthy for you. I know there's so many benefits, and us as college students, we know that time is money and we got a lot to do and not a lot much time. So when you come into food, sometimes just going to get a quick bite of food somewhere is all you can do. But however, I do want to show this next video with you, and I'm going to go over a quick quote from it. And it's a New York Times video that was released January 29th, 2020, where they mentioned that in the years 2015 to 16, 70% of the quality of food that we were consuming was poor. And that's 70% of your diet. When you look at your diet as a whole, it's a whole 100%. And when you get down to 70% of that was poor, that's just crazy to me because there's just so much in your diet that affects your life, the way you sleep, your mental health. And I believe when you eat better, you are able to produce better. So I'm going to go ahead and show that video to you now. That is the link I have, but I did go ahead and open it up in another window so that way you could see it better.
If you're like most American adults, you get about 20% of your calories from restaurant food. These meals may feed your hunger, but they're not fueling your body very well, according to a new study. Researchers say most of the restaurant food we choose provides poor nutritional quality. They analyzed dietary surveys filled out by more than 35,000 men and women who dined at full service or fast food restaurants from 2003 to 2016. Then they determined the nutritional quality by evaluating specific foods and nutrients in the meals. At fast food places, 70% of the food consumed was of poor nutritional quality in 2015 through 2016. That's a slight decrease from the start of the study. At full service restaurants, about 50% of the meals were rated poor. The remainder were scored as intermediate nutritional quality. Almost none of the restaurant meals consumed were found to be ideal quality. The senior author says these findings show dining out is a recipe for unhealthy eating most of the time. He says all restaurants should make it a priority to improve nutritional quality so people can enjoy a meal out that is good for them.
That was the quick little video. Let me go back into the presentation. Okay. So the next thing I want to go to, because the quality of the food that you're intaking is so important, I want to go ahead and talk about the kind of food that you're intaking. So, like I said in the beginning, the recipe I'm showing you is plant based, and plant based is important to me. Like I said in the beginning of the year, I did decide to start eating more plant based due to some family members' decisions. So, unlike their choice to go plant based as well. So I do cook plant based meals on a daily when I can, and Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the benefits of being plant based. So, in Sharon Palmer's 2015 article, states that vegans watch TV less, they sleep more, and they eat better foods. And I think this is just direct that when you're vegan, you're eating plants and vegetables, um, more healthier fats. And I think that's very important. So I just want to also include that there's a difference between vegan and plant based. They are very similar. The only difference, however, is that when you are vegan, vegans go into every aspect of your life, your clothing, your body washes, your deodorant, everything you use is animal cruelty free. And so when you're plant based, that just kind of is just what you consume. You don't consume any animal products at all. So they're the same, but they're different in their core values. So I'm going to be referring to it as plant based because I am what the meals that I am cooking are plant based because not all aspects of my life are vegan. So, like I mentioned, vegans and plant based people they sleep better. And in this article, she actually goes on to list 7 major reasons why being vegan is beneficial. Plant based is being beneficial is because it just affects so many key parts of your body. So that is why I am pro plant based. I do fall short. I do eat meat. I do consume dairy, all of that. I fall short. I'm human. But I do think it is very beneficial to be plant based. Another great reason to be plant based and to eat plant based is because not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping animals that aren't dying because you're eating them. And I know this sounds a little harsh, but every time I look at a burger now, I think of the cow that died. So I could eat it. And when I look at tofu and some vegetables and rice, I know that no animal died in the process of making this meal. And that means a lot to me. And going more into that, Bruce Frederick's article in 2019 states that vegan is the best diet and consumption for the environment because it is intended for people who are more compassionate for animals. And going into this more, this is a compassionate diet. You are saving animals, you are helping them by not killing them and eating them. So I think that's really great. And next, I'm going to be talking about the recipe. So, to jump right into it, the recipe I'm making is tofu broccoli rice, and I'm going to be going step by step with you through it. So, the first thing you want to do is press your tofu. This is so important. If you don't like tofu, it's because you weren't pressing it long enough. I mean, there may be more to it, but pressing it and getting all of that liquid out is so important. So, I highly recommend just pressing it for so long with heavy objects. So right here you see the bottom I have my tofu wrapped in paper towels and it's soaking it all up and I have heavy objects on top pushing it down. You want to do this for 15 to 45 minutes and like I said this is a crucial step but because it takes so long you want to do it in the beginning. The next thing you want to do oh, just before, that was 16 ounces of extra firm tofu. And the firmer level of tofu you get, the less liquid it has inside, the more dense it is. So the second thing you're going to do is cook your rice. Right here, I have a rice cooker full of 1 cup of jasmine rice and 1.5 cups of water. This is what I use to normally feed whoever I'm feeding. It does the right amount of a serving for us. This normally takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So definitely do that tofu, press it first, and then you want to start your rice. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut up the tofu. I cut that 16-ounce block into about 12 pieces. And you're going to either put this in a bowl or a Ziploc, sorry. And you're going to go ahead and do 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then you're going to want to season that cornstarch because it doesn't taste good on its own. I recommend pepper, garlic, salt, onion powder, and paprika. That is what I used here And you're gonna go ahead and mix it all up, coat it, get it all covered, and then the crucial step is to drizzle it in olive oil after you've coated it. And this creates clumps, and the clumps really turn into airy, crispy pieces at the end. So definitely coat it all with the dry and then drizzle with olive oil and then kind of remix it up so that way it gets clumpy. So the next step you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cook the tofu. There are many different ways to cook the tofu. I'm going to go ahead and give you the other ways right now. So you can cook it in the oven, 400 for about 30 minutes, flipping halfway. You can also pan fry this. You'll just use a little bit more oil in your recipe, and you would just go ahead and flip it halfway. The way I decided to cook this though is within my air fryer. I do love my air fryer, highly recommend it. This is a preheated air fryer, 360 degrees, and I preheated it for about 2 minutes. And then you want to cook your tofu for about 16 minutes, and you want to make sure that you flip it halfway through. And yeah, you just let it go. It gets super crispy that way. The next is to cook your vegetables. So you can choose any vegetable of your choosing. I chose broccoli. It's just what I like in this kind of meal. At the bottom, I have a pot filled with about 2 inches of water. And then on top of that, I have a steaming pot where I have my broccoli and then a lid on top. This only goes for about 6 minutes. And once it goes for 6 minutes, it's going to turn a very bright green color. That's when you know the nutrition from the broccoli is still in there and it is not overcooked, but it is cooked. So wait till it gets that very, very bright, vibrant green color and you will be good to go. And the last part is to plate it. However, there is a sauce on this that I did not include. I forgot to include it. It is just a very simple sauce. It is soy sauce, lemon juice, a little bit of rice vinegar, and some green onion. You can just mix it up, and it's kind of like a ponzu sauce, if you know what that is. And I just drizzled that on top. You can coat your tofu in it if you'd like. It may make the tofu a little bit less crispy, but it is still good drizzle on top. And that is what I did. So it's the rice and then the tofu, the broccoli, and then some sauce. And then I had some sesame seeds. I threw them on just for nice looks. The best thing about this meal is that it was so quick to make. I saved money by making it. It only cost me $10. I fed 3 people with it. It is plant based. But the last thing I really like about this recipe is that you can have fun with it. You can play around with it. If you choose to eat chicken and steak and whatever you choose to eat, you can substitute. So instead of tofu, you would have your meat. You can have any vegetable of your choosing, whether that be asparagus, carrots, whatever you want, you can do that. And then with that, the rice at the bottom, you can substitute that carbohydrate for brown rice or quinoa, or even if you want a low carb option, cauliflower rice. There's so many options with this recipe, and I just think that's amazing. So I really, really hope you try this, and I really hope you try it with the tofu. But I understand if you won't. But please give it a try, and thank you so much for watching.